This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
Hello and welcome to episode 40 of Too Old to Game. I'm your fearful host, Dave Oster. Sitting across from me is the original man-child himself, Ricky Widmer.
What's up, guys?
Mark Weber. We aren't dubbing those E's tonight, but we are missing you on this episode because this is the granddaddy of them all. This is the one that started it all for us.
Happy birthday to us.
Yeah, I guess so.
It's our podcast anniversary.
Yeah, I didn't know you were going to do that. That's nice.
I mean, this is the day that it posted.
Yeah.
Yesterday was the day a year ago that we recorded, but today, June 13th, as we're recording this, this was the first ever Too Old the Game on MVP.
How far we've come.
How far have we come? I would like to say very far. I would like to say
I can talk into a microphone and feel a little bit more confident. It only took us 4 takes to get going today.
Dear God, that first episode of like, all right, Dave's going to get it eventually. You can do it, Dave.
That was, the cheering didn't help me. I think that was the confidence coming from that side of the table, not helpful over here. But it is our E3 podcast. It is what started our, I guess, it was just us sitting in a room watching E3 shit, and we're like, we should talk about video games. We all play video games. We all enjoy video games.
And then we were coming in for just a one-off. It was like, hey, we'll talk about E3. And then, hey, we should do a gaming podcast.
Mark dropped the seed. He planted it. It grew.
And then once we found that opening bet, it was like, okay, this is a podcast now. We can now do it because we have intro music to our podcast.
It's official, bitches. But yeah, no, E3 this year. It was a really good show all around. I think there were a lot of ups, a couple of downs. But we're going to take you through it on a wonderful journey. If you guys do want to support us, you can check us out on patreon.com/mostvaluablepodcasts. If you hit that $1 tier, you can jump in our Discord. You can get our early previews for those sports inclined or those who like sports. We have early mocks, early drafts, all that fun stuff that you get early access to on Patreon. But let's just get into it, Ricky. Things this year weren't normal. Why?
Not at all.
Because Sony wasn't there. This was the first year without a Sony main stage appearance, and everybody was skeptical going in. They're like, well, what's that going to mean? Are they going to drop a console early? Are they going to try to steal the thunder? Turns out, no, they didn't really. Turns out that, it was just basically up in Microsoft's hands to do whatever they wanted. We started things off, though, with at E3. Going straight into EA and Jedi: The Fallen Order. What a kickoff.
I mean, well, that was even different compared to what they usually do, because EA usually had hey, we're going to do a press conference just like their own, but they even changed it up where they did EA
They did a
Play,
casual. Where
it's like, hey, we're going to have like a half hour here, half hour there with different games. It's guys sitting on a couch talking about it. I know for Madden it was Adam Rank from NFL Network, who's like, he's going to be the host of this one. Greg Miller was the Jedi Fallen Order one. Yeah. It was much more... I liked it personally. Yeah. It was also outside in LA. You kind of had a different feel than the press conference. But Jedi Fallen Order, getting that first bit of gameplay that we're going to see, or we did see, that was huge.
Game developers should not be forced into public settings. I'm going to just put it that way. I get it.
You were going to answer this question. No, you were. Well, they had these cards, and I said, fuck it.
They're not going to do us any good because neither of you are comfortable out here.
Yeah.
I applaud them for doing it, and I absolutely love hearing from them. But maybe get a spokesperson next time who knows, you try to prep them as best as possible for it. But, yeah, the gameplay itself, Jedi Fallen Order, we got to watch quite a bit of it, actually. I was a little surprised by that.
About 15 minutes or so?
Yep. And it was pretty great looking. It kind of starts off with this whole vibe of like, you set the tone of, this is post Order 66. This is, you're an escaped, surviving Padawan. You are Jedi. You are growing. It's an RPG game. And the whole thing is, how are you going to develop your character? Because it's a pick and choose, because the RPG, duh. You're going to pick and choose what you want to invest your points in, what you want to grow stronger as. So you're going to have a couple options. The gameplay itself kind of reminded me a little bit of Prince of Persia stuff. You had some wall
like
run.
The wall run, yeah.
The combat looked pretty good. One of the big things was the fun that you can have with the Force. Ricky, I know there's a couple of favorite scenes from you there. Can you run us through there?
The one that was my absolute favorite was you're going to shoot at me? I'm going to deflect it this way, but then take the Force and move you into it. So it's like, haha, you thought it was just going somewhere
Stop shooting
else.
yourself. Stop shooting yourself.
I'm going to move you into that. And the thing that I wonder, though, and this is kind of maybe a gameplay thing with the points tree.
Yeah.
And maybe this was answered and I just haven't looked into it. Of when you say, like, you get to choose, I really hope in this game there's a point where it's like you get to either choose, hey, if you're going into this tree, that's more of the good side. Whereas this tree, hey, maybe you're going a little bit into the dark side.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
They did put the kibosh. You are not evil. You are good.
Strictly good.
You are strictly good.
That to me is a kind of like I would really like that experience. I know it adds way too much.
I want to do me, you know?
Yeah. I want
Maybe I want to dance on that line a little bit, get a little bit of the dark side powers, get a little bit of the force good side. Yeah.
But like from the gameplay of like, my favorite too is the able to throw the lightsaber, the slowing, like they were shooting and he slowed it so that he could move out of the way.
I'm not sure if I'm digging the bullet time.
You're not?
That just seems a little gimmicky.
Yeah,
it seems a little gimmicky.
As soon as you were just like, I'm not feeling, I'm like, Dave's gonna use the G word.
Yeah,
he's using that G word.
It just cool. So I get the game is going to have a lot of different enemies and stuff, but what we saw out there was an experienced player who'd been dev testing for a while, but he blew through it like it was, blowing over a house of cards. Like it was a little concerning to me on the difficulty rating. I'm not saying I wouldn't have fun, they're like, well, you can kill these enemies different ways. If you wait long enough, the NPCs may kill each other. Like there's a lot going on action-wise in the game, but it does concern me difficulty-wise. If this game's not going to be a challenge, if I'm not going to have, a God of War story or something else to carry this thing, where's the challenge coming from? Where's my attention to this game going? Because I love Star Wars because Star Wars. I don't know if I can make it through a game that doesn't have me hooked either from gameplay or story arc.
See, and that to me, like...
I'm sorry,
I feel like it's a grain of salt with that, though, because like you said, this is an advanced player, and the thing you also got to think about is from their mindset of they're like, we only got a half hour.
Yeah.
We don't want to bog you down with like, oh, it's taken them a while to do this. They just wanted it to probably be a crisp 15 minutes.
Yep.
So then the other 15 minutes could be them talking about the game. The part though that I feel like you're kind of talking about, because I'm rewatching it as we're talking about it, is you get the point where it's like a super stormtrooper and they've got the kind of purple electrical staff.
Correct.
That's a moment to me, I feel like, where I'm going to have it where it's going to be like the oh shit moment of like, okay.
Mini boss time.
This is this is the first time I'm going to come up against something, because even when they were going to attack them, they were blocking more shots. It's
they
like,
even stopped some of the force powers. When you tried to force push or pull, the guy kind of grounded his staff and held his ground a little bit. So it's like, all right, you're not going to get him with the basics. But stormtroopers are truly disposable.
Yeah, basically. Like normal stormtroopers, oh, you're just cannon fodder for me to get to the next point in this game.
So here's the thing. Here's what I want to do, Ricky. I want to end each game that we do cover today on a, are you hyped? Are you cautious but excited, or are you not interested when this game is
I'm trying to think of
I mean,
three.
if you want to drop like different ratings, those are three that I had in my head.
I like that, but I'm trying to think of like,
because not interested doesn't mean it's a bad game. There's a lot of games that just don't like go towards me. Like I'm not going to buy FIFA. FIFA's a fantastic game.
Let's describe it this way.
Yeah.
So I like the rating you just did.
Yep.
We'll do fuck yeah.
Okay.
Not for me. That's going to be them.
Okay.
And this is one where I wanted to be like, I'm kind of in the middle between fuck yeah and because like, yes, it's the first gameplay we've seen from this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I'm like for example, I'm watching them do the wall climbing stuff. And maybe it's because I've seen that in other games. Like you mentioned Prince of Persia did that quite a bit. And I'm not expecting them to reinvent the wheel per se.
Right. You can borrow from other games. That's inspiration.
I want to say fuck yeah, but I'm going to say in the middle between that and because it's like I'm hyped that we're going to get the first ever Star Wars game that could be like super cool.
Yep.
But there's stuff gameplay wise that some stuff blew me away, some stuff didn't blow me away. So I'm going to sit about a 75% to that 100%.
Yeah, I'm definitely in the category, or as I would say, I think a little better, I'm excited, but I'm cautious.
Yeah.
Like, I want to buy in on this game. I've been burned so many times by pre-order. I'm not pre-ordering this until I see the end game graphics.
Let's be honest. There's only one game based off your shirt that Dave's pre-order.
So I'm cautious about some graphics.
Rui's not here.
Rui didn't pop up on this show. That's how the fast break. I'm cautious about the graphics because they didn't look uber polished. I get it. It's early testing.
Yeah.
I'm not super concerned. This isn't the puddle situation for Spider-Man.
I'm going to bring up the
Before
puddles
we go
later.
there. We're not going to freak out about puddles. But yeah, I think that there's a lot of goods and bads on this one. I need more time. I need to see it get closer. Give me another couple of years or another couple months of development, and then let's see when the next time it pokes its head up. All right, moving along. I'm going to jump down to Madden, because Madden is close to the heart for you, and close to the heart for a lot of our fans too. I know there's a group of you who do play it, and I think Madden kicked off, and to my own detriment, I consider Madden let's slap a new name on the back of the shirt, new coat of paint, and roll it out there and collect our free money, because that's all it is to me. But this year, there's a tweak that makes it special. Ricky, can you explain to our viewers?
So there's a couple things they talked about. One of the things, I'll start with the positive first and then kind of get to the janky. The first kind of thing that I really liked was they talked about playbooks and they talked about RPOs, where basically all these RPOs that now you're seeing in the NFL, they're going to be available. Also, it's like they actually took in the work to like say, hey, the Philly special, hey, the Raider special formation, those are going to be in the game. So that's cool. What I'm seeing on Sunday is going to be usable in my game.
Yeah, because to be fair, those run pass options, when you attempted that in the past, awful. Awful experience.
It was like, because they first introduced the option when the Wildcat first started, and then it was like, okay, we're not going to touch it. Like, that's a college thing. Well, now the college game is becoming the NFL game.
Kind of fun.
In a sense, offensively. The thing I also liked is if, let's say, we see something new on Sunday, they're going to put that into the game. Like, it's like, and that's the thing that maybe gets away from that coat of paint, is like, it's ever changing. Now, of course, there's going to be a new Madden next year, which kind of changes that. They talked about Ultimate Team. That's something that I haven't been huge into, that I would like to get more into, but it hasn't sparked my interest. The big thing, though, is X Factors. And at first, before I watched the conference, when Jake, one of our patrons, was like, wow, it's gimme as fuck, I was like, I would love to not think that. But after watching the conference, I'm like, wow, this is going to piss me off in more ways than one, because each player has, so if they're a superstar, they have what's called an X Factor. And I'm going to talk about Juju's, because that's the one I think is the most gimmicky.
Right.
But then players have different just skill abilities, where, for example, Alvin Kamara has Matchup Nightmare, where the receiver with this ability makes sharper cuts and frequently wins contested catches when covered by linebackers and linemen. And he also has RB Apprentice. When lined up at running back, player with this ability have access to 4 additional hot routes per the pre-play adjustments. It's the superstar ones. Like, for example, you've got Patrick Mahomes. His is called Bazooka, I think. And to get it, I like how they took yak, or the yards after catch out of it, where you have to have like a certain number of 30-yard bombs to get
it's just
it.
Air time of the ball.
But then after that, it's like, once you get it, it's you got to sack him to knock him out, which is not the easiest thing in the world. And with that activated, he can throw 83-yard bombs. It's like, if you got a fast enough wide receiver, game over. Guess what? He's got Tyreek Hill in this game.
Well, we'll see about in real life.
I mean, in the game, he's got Tyreek Hill. So, I mean, that's a quick receiver right there.
Understood.
And then, like, with Juju's, I feel like the thing they talked about with his superstar ability is that once it's activated, you basically have to have him double covered. Like, and I'm like sitting there going, okay, I get it on the mindset of like, if you're really into that like gameplay stuff, this is going to intrigue you. But if you're a casual Madden guy, you're just going to sit there and go, wow, I just want to fucking play Madden. I don't want to overthink about it. Because there are different players. There's the ones that get really into it and like play a franchise and gameplay for that game. Like it's the next week and what do we need to do?
Yeah.
And then there's people that just want to go into play mode and go online and play against their friends and have a nice, just kind of chill gaming experience while playing football.
Right. I agree. And I think that that's potentially going to put some people off. But I think overall, do you think, on the other hand, do you think it'll draw people to the game? Because it's like, now we've got football, but we've got like that, like, I'm not going to say little bit of a wild card, a little bit of an RPG element of, well, I can power up, I can go Super Saiyan, you know?
I mean,
Like, do you think that you'll pull in some people because there is that extra little bit of fun factor to it? Or do you think it's more of a frustration that's going to push people away?
I don't know if it, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't know if it's going to pull people in. I would think the thing that might pull someone in is when they talked about the signature animations.
Yeah.
So, like, for example, Patrick Mahomes has that no-look pass he does.
Oh,
That's going to be in the game. Like, where he'll be looking somewhere and he'll throw somewhere else. It's things like that. Like, oh, I get to play as Patrick Mahomes. I got to be him and actually do what he does.
Yeah.
That's going to bring people in. The X Factor, I would love it to be something that pulls people in. But I just think at the end of the day, it's going to be like, man, on paper, this was great. But in practicality, it is not.
Fair enough. And with that being said, where do you land on it?
I'm going to say...
The Madden franchise is very close to your heart. For those of you who don't know, Ricky, I think you've bought it every
year since like basically the Eddie George cover. Yeah. Like ever since they moved away from John on the cover, I have bought in a Madden game.
Yep. So are you in again?
I'm buying it. There's no doubt.
Okay.
I'm gonna say the same thing as Fallen Order, where I'm not negative on it.
Yep.
But I'm more hyped than Fallen Order. But I'm not super low. So it's the same thing, and I know that's a boring answer, but that's where I feel.
If that's how you feel, that's how you feel, man.
Nothing that we've talked about so far has gotten me like, yes, I am super hyped for this.
And that is perfectly fair. Honestly, EA, just to drop off the other names they did show, it was an Apex Legends content update. Battlefield 5, they did an update. FIFA,
she really likes, she whips it out, Dave.
She whips it out. That was the dumbest. This is why you don't let people on stage who shouldn't be on stage.
Well, and the thing is, he giggled after he said it.
Yep, he did. FIFA 20, of course, I already talked about that one briefly. Anthem somehow isn't dead yet to them. I don't understand quite how, but good on them for keep on trying.
I feel like they have to acknowledge that it's still there, because if they don't, then it's a failure.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And we'll hit to another game that was very much similar.
Dave's like,
Fallout 76.
Dave's like, it's not a failure? Oh,
not yet.
To me.
They did Sims 4 stuff, and that was pretty much it. So, decent showing from EA. Honestly, it was just Jedi Fallen Order and Madden were the two ones that stood out to us. Moving along.
And the thing I will throw in before we do move along is that right there is why I like them not doing a press conference this year. Because, like, we talked about Square Enix, we'll get to them. When we did the live stream, we were kind of like, it was bookended by the two big things. EA knowing, hey, maybe Madden and Fallen Order are the two big things we have. FIFA kind of that third one.
FIFA's huge worldwide.
FIFA's huge. So three things. I think, The other stuff, hey,
Apex Legends is the second biggest game in the world, I think.
But I'm saying, like, is it press conference worthy? I think
content update? No.
Yeah, I feel like they were like, hey, this is what we got.
Yeah. People are going to want to watch it, so let's drop it second, because everyone wants to see Jedi Fallen Order.
Exactly.
And then guess what? We're going to get residuals from that, because people aren't going to leave immediately.
Yeah, exactly. And it was like, good way to do the EA play and not have a press conference, because I feel if they did a press conference, people would have been, the overall person would have been a little underwhelmed, I feel like.
Potentially, yeah. And also, my question would have been EA and crowd involvement. If you were in a big theater, might not look so great.
Exactly. So I like their plan of doing the EA play over
I like the casual
conference.
couch interviews, man. It's fun. I just want people out there who can actually speak to the public. Like, don't put developers out there if they're not comfortable. If they're comfortable, fine. It takes a hell of a lot of balls to go out on stage and talk live to that many thousands of people. But woof. All right. Next day over.
Okay.
Microsoft comes and they're like, we're the big boys. You guys came to see something cool. We're bringing it to you. And good Lord, they had the moment of the conference. And that's where I'm going to start. I know it wasn't chronologically, but I'm just starting with it. They dropped Cyberpunk 2077 and brought out in the trailer was Keanu Reeves. And I was like, oh my goddamn, that's Keanu Reeves in that game.
And then they open a door.
Fog rolls out, and you see the outline of Keanu Reeves. And I swear, his silhouette is just iconic at this point. It's weird, but it is. It's not like oddly shaped or anything. He just is iconic and walks out and has one of the most pure conversations with the audience that we've seen in years and absolutely kills it. And the hype for the game, his hype for the game is genuine and it's infectious. It makes me want to play the game more. Like, that's how cool it was hearing Keanu Reeves talk about the game, which fucking gold star, because so often E3 they try to do, they've tried the concert things at E3. They try to bring in celebrities who don't necessarily fit in with the video gaming world. And
but
Keanu
this
Reeves
one
was
fits
like,
because it's like, hey, he's going to be in the game.
Yeah, it was like they came to me and they're like, hey, super futuristic cyberpunk shit going down.
All you had to say was super futuristic. Keanu was in,
and that was it. He was down, and that trailer blew the pants off most of the audience. Keanu did the rest of the work himself. Ricky, I mean, where do you even start with this game?
So I know where I'm going to start, and this is the big one, because I know that this is going to be an underlining thing of this is the part that, like, because when many people are like, oh, Sony, huge losers of E3, like they weren't there, Microsoft won the conference, and it's like, Microsoft won the conference. They had a really good showing, but this is the part that is a negative for Sony. Because overall, I know you had mentioned it when we did the live stream of like, man, Sony's in trouble now. And I'm like, I don't think they're in trouble.
Sony taking the L.
I don't sit there and go, Sony took an L. I just feel like this is a negative of them not being at a conference, because the thing that I think of is when it comes to Cyberpunk, when it comes to Jedi Fallen Order, those games that will be on both platforms. They're not going to be an Xbox exclusive.
Right.
Xbox was able to do this because Sony wasn't there. Like, if Sony had a press conference, who knows if CD Projekt Red goes, oh, by the way, we're not going to be at the Xbox conference, we're going to be at the PlayStation conference. And
entirely possible.
That's the thing that hurts, was if we're looking part of the moment, Microsoft was able to have a holy fuck yeah hype moment because of Keanu Reeves, because of that game even being on their stage. So, I mean, they knocked it out of the park having that in. But, I mean, otherwise with them, like, when it comes to Cyberpunk, I wasn't super into it when, like, the gameplay came out and, like, you and Mark were, like, all giddy about it.
You're like, well, they're showing me too much gameplay.
Basically, yeah, because I'm the type of guy where I'm like, I want to experience playing myself. It. But watching this, like, seeing... It was the part where, like, your robotic arms come out, you're stabbing, and then all of a sudden, like you said, oh shit, she's hacking your arms.
Yeah.
And, like, having to deal with, oh shit, she's hacking my arms, what do I do? I'm fucking in. Like, now I'm in on this game, and I can't wait to play it.
No, I mean, it looks incredible. I think the big questions left in my mind at this point are, how long is this game? Are we talking like a Red Dead 2 experience?
That's what I'm thinking.
Because I'm down for that. Like, you drop me in with 70 plus hours of gameplay. Oh my God. I want to experience that world. And that's the other thing, is world exploration. They talk about how much, the world's going to be available to you. You're going to be able to wander around. You're going to be able to do whatever you want.
You won't be on a horse, though.
Not on a horse. But we might have a sweet car or a bike.
Probably.
So we got that.
DeLorean we can ride around on.
Maybe.
A hover DeLorean.
Maybe. And we'll have Keanu Reeves in game to keep us company. I hope he is more than just a small, side note of gameplay.
I think he is, because he's in the trailer. He comes up to your character and is like, come on, guy, we got to go.
I hope he's your buddy.
I feel
Who
like
doesn't want to be friends with Keanu Reeves? Like, now we get to do it in a video game.
Yeah, I feel like that's what it's going to be.
I'm fanboying too much, but I'm sorry. The Matrix came out, like, during our childhood, and, like, it was basically the coolest shit to ever happen. Up to that point in our lives, I think. That's pretty safe to say. That movie was pretty fucking mind-blowing. Right. So, yeah, no, I mean, I'm fuck yeah times 100. Like, your rating system, I'm hyped on mine, but yeah.
I'd say I'm fuck yeah for this one.
It looks incredible. Visually, looks great. Storyline looks like there's going to be a lot to play with. Customization, they talk about a lot. And there's different ways to play the game. You can play as a pacifist. You can play as someone who's just going to murder everything.
Because you're actually making choices.
You're making the decisions, Chief. You. Not me. You.
And that's the big thing with me. Like, if you guys are new to the podcast, I'm a story guy. I'm a single-player story guy where, I love games like The Division and Borderlands and multiplayer games too, but, like, Give me a good single player experience.
Juicy, man.
And I'm happy.
Absolutely. So really, we don't need to go any further. That game's gonna be dope. I'm excited. We're all excited. The next game I want to hit is potentially one of my favorite games from this conference, and that is Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Okay.
This one, if you want beautiful side-scrolling action, like this is it. This is truly the artwork in this game is gorgeous, and everything about it makes it look like it'll be a fun, enjoyable experience. Good story, most likely, even though it seems simple, but I think it'll be a great story. And I think just gameplay-wise, I'm excited to see it and honestly just watch it. Like, it's like, I think I could watch someone play it as almost like a screensaver and just enjoy myself. The musical scores as well. I think this is more of an experience of a game rather than a gameplay that I'm looking forward to. But either way, I'm still super excited about it.
Yeah, and I mean, sometimes you need a game like that. That's going to be that kind of experience, right? Because I kind of think of, I'm blanking on the name of it, but it was a side scroller where you were basically a little person, like a little boy.
Yep.
And you're running along, and like in the game, there was like a huge pig that was a butcher, and you had to like hide behind stuff and move stuff, and it's like, that's one that had zero dialogue, but you got the emotions. It was an experience from playing it, and I almost feel like that's what this game, like you said, that's what it's going to be, and that's why even when I saw it on the stream, I was like, all right, this is a game I could see myself playing, see myself picking up while I'm between those big titles.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I get goosebumps watching it. It looks fantastic. I'm super excited about it. And I don't know if I'm going to buy it, but I am hyped about it. So there is that.
Dave's like, I don't know if I'm going to buy it.
I'm going to watch someone play it, is the answer. I'm going to watch someone play. This is a Twitch game for me.
Okay.
I enjoy watching people enjoy the game.
While Dave's on the shitter watching Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
It's a second screen experience, you know? I want to just toss up on one monitor while I'm sitting there grinding away in World of Warcraft or playing something else. It's just something else to have on, and it's enjoyable and it's fun. So I just want to give a quick shout out to a game that may not get a ton of love during E3 when there's all these massive titles like Gears of War, which
Gears was
Gears
exciting.
of War.
But like, yeah, it's got that indie style too that I liked about it. So you're the one that'll watch it on Twitch. I'm the one that'll probably, if I do interact with this game, it'll be through playing it because I want to have that experience.
Yep, absolutely. So I do want to just lead right into Gears because that's just.
I'm trying to think. Was Ori the one? One of the indies on the stream I said was going to be like the Celeste.
Yeah, that was.
Was that the one?
That was Ori, I believe. Yeah. So yeah,
Gears.
Gears.
Dave's like, I want to go into
I've said Gears 6 times and you're just not getting it, Ricky. Your words don't mean anything anymore because Gears of War happened. Visually, very enticing. This is gritty. This is dark. This is very, very enticing. And on top of that, a little bit of sprinkling on the end. Do you remember what they dropped at the end of that trailer?
Do I? Remind me.
Terminator.
Oh, that's right. The Terminator thing. Yeah, the Terminator crossover. I forgot about that.
Come on. Like, that was just... if you love Gears of War gameplay, they're not reinventing the wheel here. This is the 5th in the franchise. There's a reason there's 5 of them because it's damn successful. It's fun gameplay. It's a good shooter. It's gory. It's got great like visceral feeling to it, like when you're cutting through people. I'm excited for it because I think a lot of this is the what's the word I'm looking for? I keep going back to like motif, but like the setting, the dark feel, the really you get into the surroundings around you, and I think that helps tell the story as well and helps you like really kind of lock into the gameplay. Because there's games where you can play and you're like half paying attention to, and you're just going along. But like I feel like this is one of those games that just kind of sucks you in, you know?
Well, and I mean, it looked like a Gears game, and I'll be honest, for me, it's always been in my life of, hey, I only got X amount of dollars. I got to choose between PlayStation and Xbox. And like some people have that kind of a choice to make where this time, the first time in my life where I'm like, okay, next gen, I could probably get, or even this gen, because it's coming out on this gen, like they were selling, I think it's still going on for 4 more days. Like Xbox, I almost said 360, Xbox One, for like $200.
Yep.
I saw that and I was like,
And the game, and remember they've got the Game Pass deal right now, where basically your subscription to Xbox Live can be upgraded for $1, and it matches out whatever your subscription is. So a lot of people are buying out 3 years worth, and then paying the $1, and you get the upgraded service for 3 years. It's an insane deal. If you have an Xbox, you should definitely do that if you plan on keep playing Xbox titles, because holy shit did they drop so many of them today.
Yeah, I mean...
Or this week, I should say.
Like, I looked at the Xbox thing, I'm like, okay, I might do that just to play Gears,
I feel like
even
we
though
need
I
to just
haven't
like
played
MVP
1, 2,
buys
3,
an Xbox,
4,
and I don't want to
I'd
buy
be
it
fine with
myself,
that.
but I think that like as a group we can kind of all go in on it.
I'd be fine with that.
All right.
I mean, for me, I'm like, I want to experience this game, even though I haven't played 1 through 4.
Right.
I want to jump in and play this because it looked so good, and it looked like a game that I'm like, you know what? Sony's not. Maybe it's because Sony didn't have a press conference. That kind of Xbox kind of wowed me. Of course, I'm still gonna be a Sony pony. Don't worry about that. But like
a lot of these games are Xbox and PC only. Well, they're only describing that right now.
Yeah.
When they go live, who knows if PS4
well, it was
gets added.
also like I'm assuming we're gonna mention this maybe, but Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
The Google Stadia conference made it sound like that was an exclusive.
Yeah.
And the people behind Baldur's Gate was like, hey, just so there's no conclusion, it's going to be on PlayStation, it's going to be on Xbox, it's going to be everywhere.
Yep.
So don't think that it's just a Google Stadia exclusive game.
True. All right, moving
But
right.
Google Stadia wasn't going to say, yeah, it's going to be on Xbox and PlayStation as well.
We're not going to give you free advertising.
Yeah.
F that. Moving right along and straight into nostalgia lane. A quickie, but a goodie. Battletoads.
Thank you. I was like, we're not moving on until we talk about Battletoads, Dave.
No, we got several Microsoft games to go still, but Battletoads harkens back and hits that nostalgia button hard. I'm honestly
feel like you're
cautious.
underwhelmed. Okay.
I'm underwhelmed. I was just whelmed. I wasn't overwhelmed. I wasn't underwhelmed. I was just whelmed. You know, it looks like it's kind of like a cheap stab at money in my mind. And that's my concern. Is that the passion isn't there? That the gameplay, the frustration, the annoyances that made Battletoads so difficult. Battletoads, Double Dragon, like all of those games, childhood, and now seeing them, it looks like almost like slap happy a little bit. Graphically,
You're saying you don't like how it looks.
I don't like how it looks. Yeah. The gameplay itself, we didn't get to see long bits of it. It was very much a cut up version of gameplay. So we got 3 seconds here, 5 seconds there. They did show off the bike track, which was fun. But Ricky, I think this is a game that you were on the other end of the field.
Yeah, well, nostalgia hit into where it's like I get what they're doing. I get it. They're going to basically make it look newer because it's not like I see that as them not saying like, hey, we're going to try to slap a new coat of paint on a Sega game. Well, we had it for Sega game and put it out there. No, we're going to try to make it something new. And this was one I got hyped because I'm like, I could see us and me thinking content wise. I'm like, this is something where I want to sit down on the couch with Dave and I want to play Battletoads. And I want to get that frustration out in front of our viewers. And Dave's smiling because he's like, great, that bike level.
Yeah, I'm never going to get through
it.
I ain't never getting through there. I'm sorry.
And it looked like, though, at the end of that trailer, though, that it was instead of unless I'm thinking of the game wrong, was the original always a back view or was it a side view? I thought it was a side view as you were going through.
It was a side view.
Because like the one they showed us was your camera is now behind the bike.
Yep. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm whelmed. Like I said, it's not huge. But moving right along, they dropped what honestly I thought was actually a super good idea. Forza 4 Lego Speed Champions, which sounds gimmicky when I'm like, oh yeah, Lego and Forza. But watching that trailer, I was like, fun. You know what? This makes perfect sense. You're pulling a younger audience into the video games who want to watch racing and racing with Legos. Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
And not only that, they built out a freaking full-size car out of Legos, which is insane when you watch it in person.
I'm not a Forza guy. Like if I'm a racing game guy, like it is either Need for Speed or
Gran Turismo.
Gran Turismo. Gran Turismo if I want to basically bang my head into a wall. because I'm not as good as Dave.
That's all right.
Need for Speed, if I just want to get through
That's
everything
fun,
and
yeah.
have the cops chase me and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
For Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, I think it was.
You're dating yourself there.
Basically.
Pretty old.
PlayStation 2.
What about Juiced?
Juiced. Can't forget about Juiced. And
Great
Juiced
racing
2.
game. And Juiced 2.
I think they made a Juiced 2.
They did.
Yeah,
It's
they did.
slightly less successful.
Hot
for a
Import Nights, I think it is,
Yep.
or Hot Imports.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. Am I going to play Forza Legos? Probably not, but it looked fun and
It
cool.
looks a fun game. It's not for me, but it looks like a fun game. And I think it's a smart move
Yeah.
by Microsoft and the
Exactly.
Forza team to do this. As long as we're on that, I'm going back to nostalgia.
Okay.
Phantasy Star Online 2. And this was the one that really, for those of you who don't know, this game, if you haven't watched an episode of our show, we bring it up often, but we grew up playing Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2 on the GameCube. Ricky had a Dreamcast, but we didn't really catch on to it during the Dreamcast days for episode 1, so we jumped in heavy on the GameCube days and dropped in hundreds of hours each.
Let's put it this way: a friendship almost ended when I'm gonna tell a story, Dave.
Oh God,
we were in your room. So how
Yep.
it used to be is Dave in high school. We made the progression into the basements, World of Warcraft days, where our rooms just moved down there. But as kids, they were upstairs.
Yeah.
And we're in Dave's room. I don't think your parents were home.
No.
We're playing Phantasy Star. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was. You had the kitchen wall, and like right in that corner by the door, was the TV and stuff, and it was right next to the window, and it was like a small area of your room, and your room wasn't huge to begin with, and we're cramped in front of that TV, like we're playing,
sitting on the edge of the bed.
I believe it was the final boss, if I'm not mistaken. We finish it, and the game freezes, and Dave's face is like, what do I do?
Yeah, there's no winning this situation.
What do I do? And my bright idea was because I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, we can't just leave it here because Dave would have left it there and just never shut it off until like the power went out. So I'm like, try restarting it. And we restart it, and Dave's memory card got corrupted, and Dave lost his character named Malekith, and you had like the double sabers. You were a hunter.
I was a hunter. I was level 70. No, actually, I take it back. I think I was level 60 something at the time.
Because I know you had the double sabers.
I had the double sabers. I had the Musashis.
That's what they were called.
Yeah, I had the Musashis. I had the upgrade version of them. This is taking me real hard back. And yeah, no, it was just like, I think that character had probably like 80 hours into it or something ridiculous. And yeah, just gone. Just gone.
So pissed. Understandably, too.
I could not.
So pissed.
Could not deal. And then it was like literally moments later, like, guess I gotta start all over again.
Yeah.
Back in, massively level up again. But yeah, no.
And it was easy to start over because our friend Sean, not Anderson,
always starts
basically
over.
would get to like 15 or 20 and then be like, yeah, I started a new character, to where we had a rare weapon, the bazooka.
Yep.
And he deleted it because he wanted to start a new character. And I was like, could you wait until we transferred it?
4 slots for characters.
And 4 transfer slots for friends.
So you got to be careful with those slots. But yeah, he liked his cosmetics.
Yeah.
And that was the thing. And the game played a little bit.
Because I liked our friend Nick, too, at the time. Was he didn't have it. He didn't have a system of his own.
Yep.
I don't remember if it was Sean, mine, or yours, which card was his original. But there'd be times like, I think it was your card.
I think it was mine.
Because on mine, there'd be times where it's like he'd be in the shared spot.
Yep.
Because it was like, oh, we were playing on mine, and he transferred it over.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's a Phantasy Star Online episodes 1 and 2 for GameCube was monumental to our childhood. Yeah. So seeing Phantasy Star Online 2 be available in North America is huge. I get this game is not a new game. I get that it's been out for years. And if you really want to play it, you could download the correct pieces to play this in Japan or for the Japanese servers, which had been translated and tons of work. Community there's awesome, but it was just, it's hard to convince other people that this is worth your time because it's a full setup, it's a full investment. And seeing this come to the West is huge.
Yeah, this is one where
our reaction on the stream was insane. And I'm sorry, the streams aren't available.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's one of those you had to be there moments.
I mean, I didn't
expect this thing at all. I didn't know any rumors.
This is a fuck yeah moment. But also cautious that it's not going to live up to what the expectation in my head is. And I'm hoping it lives up to every expectation, Dave.
There's no possible way that it can. It's literally impossible because I'm going to go back.
And I'm hoping it doesn't fail me.
Ricky.
I'm hoping it lives up to every expectation we want it to be.
Yeah, I hope so too. But it's an established game, and it is launching with all the content.
Good point.
That's been built out for it. Some of the cosmetic stuff that was rolled out in special items for events in Japan aren't likely going to be available right away, but we'll see what happens over time as we get more information about that. It's huge. It's fucking huge, people.
And we get it in 2020.
2020, April 16th, I believe. They just missed out on going 4/20/2020, which would have been dope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play it, though. I can't, like, that was one where both me and you were like, oh my God. And Jake was like, breathe, fellas.
Yeah, that
breathe.
got us hyped. But then there was one more bomb to drop. Because, well, actually, there was like two. One was George R.R. Martin and Miyazaki coming together for Elden Ring.
Yes.
Which we got to see very little of the... I don't think we got to see gameplay.
I'm
but
intrigued.
It was just a cinematic intro.
I'm intrigued.
Anytime you put Miyazaki out there, it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like it's a beautiful game. George R.R. Martin's storytelling.
Yeah.
However convoluted this game's going to be, which is pretty convoluted. I'm excited. I want to know. I need to know the mystery. I need to know what this is going to be like because I trust both of these names.
I need to know.
And I'm super excited for them to publish this game. As soon as we find out more, we will be bringing that news to you.
You said I need to know too much.
Yep.
Now I've just got tell me, baby girl, because I need to know.
Yeah. Yep. Ricky, do you have any...
I mean, for me, I'm intrigued, but it's not like a super fuck yeah hype moment. It's an with intrigue to it.
Okay.
Like an
haven't seen enough
like
to...
an plus.
Okay, fair enough.
Plus.
How does Xbox Scarlet and a new Halo sound to you then? Does that get your interest going?
I am probably... I'm making a pimp decision right here. I am probably going to be a double system 5th gen person.
It's costly, but I mean the reward is there at this point in time. It seems like it will be. They released additional details about their new Xbox that they'll be launching in 2020. They dropped some information on the new Halo. It was a short cinematic trailer.
The thing that got me, and of course hitting my nostalgia, is when they talked about for Scarlet of basically like, hey, we released Xbox not on its own. We released it with Halo. And then they show the Halo trailer, and it looked fucking great. And there's part of me that's thought back to myself, because for that gen, well, I should say that gen because PlayStation, PS2 was out well before that. I was able to have both the original Xbox and the PlayStation. Went through the whole Ring of Death with the red ring. Basically sold a Ring of Death Xbox to not a GameStop. Oh, what was it? They used to be with Hollywood Video. Game Crazy.
Game Crazy.
To a Game Crazy. Because they didn't test it. They were just like, all right, cool. And gave me fucking full value for like working Xbox.
Yep.
But like I remember playing Halo on that, and that being my first experience on an Xbox, to where I'm like, you know what? This might be the time where Gears 5 is getting me in. The games that they're announcing post that time or right before that time.
It's really leading up to it, which is annoying because like we're getting the end of a generation right now.
Well, and I mean that's the tricky thing too of like Mark and I have talked about it with The Last of Us. Like it's probably going to come out right before PS5, but I think the big thing that we get from it is we know the end of the era is ending, because we know we're going to get them PlayStation 5 at the end of 2020. But then also I'm like, you know what? I'm going to have to play this this Halo game. So I'm probably going to get both PS5 and Xbox Scarlet.
Yeah. No, I think that's... I'm pretty much on the same page.
Because they're not going to... Hopefully Nintendo doesn't go Switch 2 that next May.
Jesus Christ. If everybody drops bombs on us at Q4 2020 and then early 2021...
Nintendo does their own thing.
That's some good problems to have, I guess. That is, if you got the money, you can really enjoy yourself.
Third world problems, right?
But yeah, no, Microsoft had a litany of games. I think they had just a sheer stupid number. There's a ton of them out there. Ricky, were there any other Microsoft games that you wanted to cover?
You know, I think we hit all the ones that I was looking at. All the other ones were basically like Jedi Fallen Order, but we had seen that at EA Play, that was just like extra, like, oh, in case you didn't see it, here it is in the Xbox conference.
A couple of short shoutouts. Minecraft Dungeons looks like a Diablo killer. Just tossing out there for all those Diablo 3 fans who are just hating themselves.
You guys got cell phones, right?
You guys got cell phones, right? It looks like a fun game for kids. They're just trying to lead them down the dungeon of Diablo. El Diablo. Great. Outside of that, there was the fight simulator actually looked really good. And I love people who go in full out and like build themselves like a full on.
That was one of the games where I was like, nope, not excited.
It's not for me. And it's not something I'd buy, but I enjoy watching other people build out. I watched like a 30-minute thing of someone building out a cockpit and then playing the game, and that was just awesome.
Like that was the part of the stream where I just checked out.
That's fair. Psychonauts 2, pretty dope that they're getting a sequel to Psychonauts. Lego Star Wars.
Oh, the Skywalker saga. Forgot about that.
Episodes 1 through 9.
Yeah. I was talking to Mark on Tuesday where Mark was like, I don't even remember if I've ever played a Lego game. And I was like, hell yeah. I remember playing the episodes 1, 2, and 3 trilogy with my cousin. So yes, Star Wars saga, totally going to get that. Totally going to play into it. Hopefully it's got an easy platinum for me.
Hopefully on all our behalfs it has an easy platinum.
On all our behalves.
I don't want to hear about too much. Way to the Woods was kind of a weird, kishy, like... is
that the Blair Witch one?
No, that's Blair Witch is just called Blair Witch.
It's just Blair Witch.
No, Way to the Woods was the deer who absorbed light into its antlers.
That's right.
And then could solve situations.
You're trying to find your way home.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Homeward Bound with deers.
Very artsy. I dig it. I think it's a fun game.
Dave's like, I'm going to watch it.
I'll watch someone play through it in like a day. And yeah, I think that's pretty much it. There were some good games. Borderlands 3, I guess we can, that was already released, but
the new download, new DLC for Borderlands 2
DLC 8 years later.
And people love it.
Oh yeah. People are playing it. It was released, it was like, and it's live now. Now.
Gotta love the E3. And you can play it right now. Get it. Go get it now.
Pretty cool. I think all around, Microsoft, like, how do you not A+ that? That is dope.
Speaking of that, the thing I forgot to say for EA Play that I thought was funny was the guy for Madden they had up there gave out like free passcodes. Gave some to Adam Rank, gave some to Juju, and they're like, yeah, we're going to give some to Juju to give out. And I feel like he meant for like to give out on Juju's stream. And Juju just walks into the crowd and just hands it to two people. Like he had two. He just hands it to two people. And I was like, I don't know if they wanted you to give those out right then and there. Because like from what I've seen from Adam Rank, he's giving them out on his Instagram. I'm like, I feel like that's what they wanted Juju to do on his stream. But Juju was just like, fuck it. Like, this guy's got a Juju jersey on. I'm going to give it to him. He's got a Steeler coat on. I'm going to give it to him.
Probably. No doubt. Actually, no doubt at all. That's what you get for working with people who aren't really in the gaming industry sometimes.
Exactly. Where it's like a supplement where Juju loves to stream, but like, he's a football player.
He is. All right. Next day.
Okay.
Bethesda.
Well, later that night was Bethesda.
Yeah.
Dave's like, it felt like a next day.
I forgot. We literally just stayed in this room for like 9 hours
and
that
ate
day.
pizza.
Yep. It smelled awful. It smelled exactly how you think it smelled. Bethesda came out strong, though, and went, we fucked up on Fallout 76. But you know what? We listened to you guys and made it a better place.
Yeah.
And I'm like, kudos to you. You owned up to it, and now like we've got a great community and da-da-da. And all I can remember is back to the guy. I love the
joke where it was basically like, oh, there's still some of you around?
Yep. I just remember there was a thread on Reddit where they actually banned a player because he had played so much that they're like, nope, can't be good. Can't be good. New rollout, and guess what? Guess what they got, Ricky?
Dragons.
They do. But they're hip and with it, and it's definitely 2019 somehow, and we're getting a battle royale in Fallout 76 because they're with it.
Let's put it to Ring of Fire.
Oh my God, it's so dumb.
A burning ring of fire as it comes in like every other battle royale game.
So dumb.
To me, not good. Like, this is my
if
not
you
good
still
moment.
play Fallout 76... Gold star,
no.
whatever.
Here's the thing. Like,
nobody's coming back to that game.
Not even, like, you're not coming back.
Yep.
Plus, it's not, like, I'm going to take the question before you ask it. Is it going to pull anyone in new like us? No. a new Battle Royale mode is not going to pull me into this game. I just think it is what it is. You've got the people that are still playing it. Cool. You were able to keep them around. They may like this. They may not. But there are so many other better Battle Royale games out there.
But it's a survival Battle Royale, and the environment is there too, Ricky.
Only way it's going to me, it will not pull in anyone new. It might pull in an existing
people who've already
player.
bought the game
exactly.
and quit.
Yeah, because they might, like, let's be honest. If you bought Fallout 76, you bought it because you love the Fallout games.
And then you returned it because it was shit, not what you thought.
Yeah, basically.
A lot of people did.
But if you still have
Remember how quickly that went on sale? Mm-hmm. Like, literally the third day.
Mark's like, I'll wait for it to be in the $10 bin
the
at
third
Walmart.
Day it came out. Like, there was already, like, the, oh, God, no.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bethesda. That one, good try. Good try.
Also,
You're
mobile
still
card
putting-
game.
Mobile card game.
Yeah, mobile card game. Basically trying to be Hearthstone and Magic the Gathering.
That was
all in one.
Elder Scroll Blades.
Yeah.
Correct?
Which, you know what that made me do?
Yep.
I re-downloaded Hearthstone. Basically is what that made me do.
Pushed you right out.
Because at first I'm like, you know what? I'll give it a try. And then I saw Hearthstone right next to it. And I was like, yeah, I already got cards in Hearthstone. I'll just play Hearthstone. Mm-hmm. So that's what that did. But it did not get me to play the game they want me to play. It got me to play a Blizzard game that I didn't have on my phone because I uninstalled it, now reinstalled it.
Right. No, that's fair. Going down the list for them, Ghostwire Tokyo looked strange. There's literally nothing else to describe it other than strange. It seems like a creepy game. I think that'll be cool. I don't know if that'll be something that I play, but I think it looks good so far.
Yeah.
The opening trailer looked fucking attention-getting.
Probably the only thing, and I'm trying to think if this game was also on the Bethesda stage. You'll have to remind me because none of these are showing. Was Deathloop on the Bethesda stage?
It was.
Okay. So Deathloop and Wolfenstein,
Yep.
probably the only things that were not doomed eternal that piqued my interest.
No, come on. You don't want to go on the emotional roller coaster that is Commander Keen. Like, to be fair, it's a well-made game.
Yeah.
I don't want to play it because of my feels.
Like, for me, I feel like that one for me is going to be like what you said.
Do I want to cry in a room playing a video game?
I will
No.
I'll watch someone play that.
I just won't.
Yeah, that's one where if
learned
I'm
my
going
lesson.
to, I will watch someone play it.
I learned my lesson. Not going to do that again. It's a great game, though. Like, go out and play it. But no.
Because they said that's from the 90s, right? Isn't it?
Commander Keen?
Yeah, wasn't that like early 90s original?
Yeah, that is, they're remaking a game from, I think, 94. And they're I'm sorry. I've got that one confused with the Spirit, the other one. There's a different game.
Because I was like, Dave, that was like the mobile game.
Yeah, Commander Keen, never mind. I've got that. We're reviewing like 300 games today.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
dude, it's a lot.
It's not going to happen. Commander Keen, sorry, confused. You look like a fun little mobile game.
Yeah, that's why I was like, all right, unless I'm thinking of something I didn't know from the early 90s.
I'm going back to a different one that I'll pull up in a minute.
Is that a Bethesda game or is it a different? Okay.
No. So with Bethesda, I agree. It was basically just Elder Scrolls had a couple, releases, and then it was Wolfenstein, Youngblood, Deathloop, and Doom Eternal.
Playing with you and a friend, playing as the twins.
Yeah. Wolfenstein is just, come on, killing Nazis.
And then Deathloop looked interesting.
Deathloop, do you like loops?
Yeah.
You like loops?
Do you like loops? And then basically Doom. Here you go with Doom, which the thing that I can't wait to see how it looks and not how it looks, but how it works.
Yeah.
Is the kind of 2-on-1 multiplayer perspective.
Yep.
Of like, hey, two people are demons. One guy's a kind of the Doom soldier. And it's basically, what did they say? Skill versus power-ups? Is that how they did it? They said skill versus something. Where one gets souped up, one actually needs skill.
Well, it's you're playing as the big baddies.
Yeah.
It's 2 versus 1, like you said. So it's just, you're going to be a demon.
Yeah.
2 demons
And
versus
then one
your big
person's gonna be
targets.
normal.
One person is...
I'm going to look up how they marketed it. But yeah, that's the part to me that I'm most interested in when it comes to Doom Eternal, besides it just looking fucking great.
Yeah, no, I mean, the mobility is... They've done it up with the mobility in this game, which I think was their big key, and the play looks quick, it looks clear. We got to watch a lot of gameplay, and it was fucking murder-tastic. It was insane. just transitioning from enemy to enemy, and they're constantly coming. No, Doom's back. Doom was already back. Doom's back again. Tell a friend.
Yeah, they're calling it battle mode. That's what they called it.
Okay.
I thought they had, unless he said it, I thought they had a kind of pop-up where it was like strategy versus skill. That's what it was. Where one, you'll need more strategy compared to, because it is 2 against 1.
Yeah.
In that sense. But no, looked fucking beautiful. I know that was one for you that out of the two of us, I think you're more hyped about it.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to play it. It looked great. I can't wait for it.
Totally. Bethesda, I mean...
Overall, I didn't
down?
like the conference. Like, to me, it was more of a,
It felt like they didn't deserve a full time slot.
Exactly. Fallout 76,
Not the big stage, at
not
least.
for me. Elder Scrolls Rage 2, nah. It was basically waiting for Doom Eternal with a couple surprises of like Wolfenstein Youngblood and Deathloop.
Yep. So there you go. There's Bethesda in a bag. I am going to jump over the VR. We did not watch it together. I don't want to even run through that stuff. So I'm going to jump all the way over to Ubisoft, I think was the daytime one.
Ubisoft, yep. It was Ubisoft, Square Enix, and then Nintendo.
Yep. So Ubisoft, Watch Dogs Legion kicked things off, and did it ever, because watching
Granny with a gun.
Yeah, watching an old granny kill people is just weird. And moving around, tasering people, like... so the whole thing with Watch Dogs Legion is that now you are able to pick a multitude of NPCs and play as them, and everybody's got their pluses and minuses. They've got their different gameplay styles, and your limitations also. But permadeath, permadeath is a thing, which I think that's the biggest oh shit.
Well, it makes you...
That's going to change the way I play the game.
Exactly, because
You can't just run to a wall over and over.
About your choices, where it's not Call of Duty, where it's not like, hey, you know what? If I die, I'm going to come back.
Right.
It's more of like that, what's the game I'm thinking of? Was it not Dragon's Age. Basically the one where it's like, hey, if you die, you lose all of your armor that you had, and you had to start all over. And people are like, holy shit. That's going to change how I play this. It was a dungeon crawler, I want to say.
Yep.
But to me, permadeath is also interesting because how many people are going to get super frustrated with it? It's like, if it's the person where it's like, I'm playing this to play the game. So if I die once, I have to start all the way over from the beginning. Like, I wonder how it's going to be implemented when we actually see it closer to game release.
No, I agree, but it's going to be good. My answer is just, it's going to be good. It's going to be great. If you enjoyed the first one, you're going to get a ton of kicks out of this one. It just looks like they've expanded the world a lot, and the storyline seems good. Everything about the gameplay intrigues me. So, and
it's interesting that it's going to be in a post-Brexit. They're playing
they're
into that
in the UK,
that kind of real life political of like, hey, it's going to be, there you go. It's in this world, in what's going on right now. And now I'm looking at it, you know what? I think they did explain in how the permadeath is going to be. Because now I'm watching the trailer. Guy dies. Basically, from what I'm understanding, okay, I can't use that guy ever again. But what's going to happen when they have 4, 8, 12, 16, 17 people on this team? What happens when everyone in my team dies? Is my game just over?
Yeah.
They got to start all over, but I can't wait to play it. Didn't play one. I'll probably jump in with Watch Dogs Legion. I'll probably play it on PlayStation, though.
That's fair. Then we have the next bit of fun. And honestly, I don't care about Tom Clancy that much, but I know it's sort of a big deal. So
I thought it looked cool. The Google I saw it with the Google Stadia conference.
The Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh no, I was thinking of the one with the Punisher with Bruthal. The Ghost Recon?
Ghost Recon Breakpoint, yeah.
Yeah, that's the one.
That's that one then. So Ghost Recon Breakpoint, what were your thoughts on that?
To me, the cool thing about it, and I saw it in the Stadia one first, was basically the thing that got me was, hey, I'm going to play with my 4 friends. You can actually see, like, okay, the big screen is my screen, but then you see little screens of where each person is. Yep. So you can better track, all right, where are we while we're trying to take this point?
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, having Shane from The Walking Dead, the Punisher in this, it intrigued me even more because I'm like, cool. I think he's a great actor, and I don't think this is the first video game he's been in. But like, for me, I'm usually not huge on the Tom Clancy games. Like, I think the last one I played was Splinter Cell a long time ago. But this is one where, it was the last one I got heavily into was the Navy SEALs one, PlayStation 2, which is dating me quite a bit. But this was one where I'm like, I might check this one out with all the features that it has. I just wonder if I'm going to be the only one of our friends playing, is it going to be worth the investment to play it?
Yeah, no, that's always the concern with those squad-based games, and I think it's fairly easy to make friends online playing that shit, though. I think they've got a really tight community, and we'd be happy to have you jump in, Ricky. But yeah, I'm not buying that game. It's just not for me.
Dave's like, I'm not playing. Because they also had Rainbow Six Siege. That looks fun, but that one necessarily, I don't know if it looks like it's for me.
Yeah, so I think the big thing with Ubisoft, honestly, was the Uplay and streaming service thing they announced with the Stadia. And the other one, which not even video game related, but sort of, was having Rob come out from It's Always Sunny and announce his new TV show that he's going to be spinning up.
That's right.
Which Mythic Quest, it looks like it's going to... I'm afraid that it's going to be terrible, and I'm going to not love it because, like, I just don't want to be let down. I was so happy when, like, we watched a spin-off. Look, It's Always Sunny is a great show, but we did watch things get spun off to... What was it? The main character went to AP Bio.
Yeah.
And that was funny. Like, it's a TV sitcom.
Way, if you're on Hulu, make sure to watch that season 1 of AP Bio because it expires on Monday.
Oh, shit. I might rewatch. Totally different sense of humor, but still fun game. Or fun TV show. So, Ubisoft, I mean, I'm giving them like a C. Just Dance, I don't care about. For Honor, the game's dead. Don't care anymore. Gods and Monsters.
That was one that
a lot of people got hyped.
It piqued my interest because it's the creators of Assassin's Creed. Yes, it's got that like cartoony style to it.
Yep.
But I'm intrigued basically because it looks beautiful, and I love the Assassin's Creed games.
Yep.
Like, especially the last one.
So
well, wait, let me see because I gotta look at the trailer really quick. Is it just the Odyssey creators? I think it's just the Odyssey creators. Yeah, from Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I loved Odyssey. So I'm definitely going to dive into Gods and Monsters.
Got it. And that takes us down. I would probably give, Bethesda probably a C in my mind. I mean, their external stuff, Division Netflix movie also was announced. All of that stuff's awesome. Like, they're killing it around video games, and they've got their core titles where people fucking love Tom Clancy. They love Rainbow Siege. Rainbow Six Siege is going to be coming out in... this...
You meant Ubisoft. Yeah. You said Bethesda.
I'm sorry. I'm still hooked on Bethesda. Ubisoft. I'm literally looking at their name.
Yeah.
But yeah. So they've got their titles.
I said, to correct you, I said Ubisoft instead of Ubisoft.
It's Ubi. Fuck them. So yeah. I think they've got their hardcore fans. They're going to be just fine. Gods and Monsters has the intrigue to pull in some outsiders. But yeah, I don't really care for a lot of the games. So I'm going to keep things quick. And move over to the granddaddy of them all, Square Enix.
Well, the two granddaddy. I feel like the last two were the ones that
Nintendo had a great show, but it's the Square Enix show this year.
True.
Square Enix had Final Fantasy VII, the remake, the game that we've been waiting a decade for.
That freaking gameplay of watching them basically play the first boss of the game.
Yeah.
Was amazing. And then also to show us, like, Dave during Jedi Fallen Order was like, I don't know about this gimmicky time freeze and stuff. They had it in Final Fantasy VII.
But they made it work in Final Fantasy VII because the whole concept is that you're going to have the ability to slow down time to cast spells, to do specific actions. But in Jedi Fallen Order, it's like, you're slowed. to the point of like you're frozen, like to do nothing. Like there's nothing else to interact with. There's nothing else to actually do.
It also had a slow time feature in the game. I just loved being able to...
It was a functional one, is my point.
Yeah, the thing I loved the most was, hey, you're going to have these guys in your party. You can switch between them.
Oh, yeah.
You're not just going to be playing as Cloud. You can switch between him and Barrett. And there's some places where, Cloud's trapped by the boss. You have to switch to Barrett. You have to switch to that next person in order to continue the fight.
Yep. No, I mean, it visually is everything we hope for. Everything we hope for. Gameplay-wise, they went bold. And they're like, you know what? Turn-based combat's old. We're going new, and you're going to love it. And...
it's almost like, man, please give me this in a Kingdom Hearts game. Like the combat style in a Kingdom Hearts game.
Where are my summons at?
Basically.
Where are my Knights of the Round? That's the big question. Everybody's like, are we going to get to watch a 4-minute Knights of the Round table intro? I don't know. That's the only thing they didn't answer. They showed, the ability to do things like cast spells, but they didn't hit summons. Yeah. So that's my question. Outside of that, this game looks immaculate. This looks gorgeous. The passion's back, baby. Like, everything about it is hitting. And the voice acting. Can we talk about the fact that we have voices now?
We actually have voices, and it's not going to be reading text
and
on
we
the
saw
screen.
Tifa for the first time, and Beat Rush looked dope. It just,
You brought it up, so now on my computer I'm watching the Knights of the Round Table.
What's the summon timer on that? Is it?
It is a 1.5 minute video.
It felt like 4 when you play that and you Quadra Magic Knights of the Round. You're just you put down the controller, you'll get a snack.
It was like, and having each knight come in and like, bam hit.
So cool.
Oh, it was something to experience. I feel like we're going to get it, even if that's in the prediction mode. They can't not have that in the game, right? Yeah. And it's going to look way better than what we're like. If we're saying the game looks so better now, I just feel like they're like, hey, we're going to feed you baby birds. We're going to feed you. Like, don't worry. You'll experience it in the game, and then you'll basically, like, your jaws will drop to the floor because of how awed and shocked away you're going to be at this game.
Yeah. No, it's going to be amazing. There's no roof to my hype levels. It's going to be amazing. Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered, on the other hand, you go from let's reinvent the wheel, and they look like they did it. And I don't want to say they have yet, because until I play that game, I won't know. Going to contain myself there. But Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition is just polished up, this shiny gold medal for you again. Pretty sure you want to give this another go. And the answer is yes. Yeah. It's a great game. It's fun gameplay, and it's a time sink.
Also, the hardcore parkour of Dying Light in this one. Like, for me, it was the JRPG stuff, and of course, like Crystal Chronicles, because I never dove into Crystal Chronicles. Would I? Maybe, probably not. Like, I'm in between that area right now. For me, with this conference, it was Final Fantasy VII. The Dying Light stuff was interesting because I didn't know it was Dying Light until they showed Dying Light 2.
That caught me by surprise how much parkour there was.
The Life is Strange trailer was kind of cool.
That's the game I was thinking about. Was Life is Strange 2, the sequel, like the tag on.
When they had all the creator or the Twitch streamers like in the showing.
Because Life is Strange 2 is a continuation of, I think
Life is Strange.
Well, no shit. I think what was it? It was like Captain Spirit, the Awesome Adventures of Captain Spirit. Yeah. And like
basically the kid is has superpowers.
He starts to get the inkling of superpowers in that game, and it's like imaginary at first, but then it's actually happening.
Bingo.
And you go through some emotional tides in that, and then this picks up and keeps going, and like the feels. That was the game I was talking about with the feels.
Dave's like, I ain't going through that again.
I ain't doing that. I ain't putting myself through that. It's nominated for a couple awards. It definitely looks like a good game, but not doing that. But Ricky, can we get to your baby now?
Yeah, the big hype moment for me that I'm kind of upset. Not really. Johnny and I are going to talk about this in the Rick and Johnny podcast. So
Marvel
be prepared for it.
Avengers A-Day. Comes out the gate. We see the porno version of the crew. What did you think?
Did you say the porno version?
That's what people are joking because this is. They were very careful about the way they talked about how they looked. It was their developers' imagining of the way these characters looked. Not too close to the Marvel live action version that we're used to in film right now, but also not very far away from it. Costume design, facial expressions. It's very similar, but you know it's wrong.
I've got some thoughts about this because there's part of me that is like, because I know Mark came in when we did the Onside Kick on Tuesday, and he was ragging on how horrible the characters looked. And for me, the first thing I'm going to say is that they're not going to look like the MCU heroes because, A, they'd have to pay Robert Downey Jr., they'd have to pay Chris Hemsworth, they'd have to pay Chris Evans, basically all the actors to use their likeness. So that's money. Some would say, well, money well spent, but let's say they don't have the money or want to spend the money to do that. I also think back to, because everyone's complaining about it. And for me, I was like, remember when we complained about Spider-Man and we complained about the puddles? Oh, dear God, Dave, the puddles look terrible. What's this going to mean for the game?
It was 3 days.
The game is like...
And the fact that we were shown crystal clear puddles and then the next gameplay trailer looked like dirt.
But I'm just saying, we freaked out.
You have to be very careful about what you show us.
And that's it.
And the fact that they felt confident showing this, I think that that is going to be extremely similar to the finished, final, touched-up product.
See, I necessarily do not... Like, I don't know if it was something where, yes, the characters weren't going to be changed drastically. But, like, I know Mark said something like, oh, it felt like Thor's hair looked weird. Yeah, well, I look at that and I go, well, it's not the finish. It'd be different if it was like I'm playing the game and it's a finished product. I know that there's stories out there that basically they've listened, they're going to go ahead and kind of rework them. And like part of me almost feels like, I mean, with Sonic we had, and I'm not saying the Sonic design was perfect because I was upset with that too.
It was terrible.
But it's like, this was not terrible to me. And it just... I feel like...
You had a couple routes, though. You could have gone hardcore into the comic books and gone back to a truer version for the older nerds. You could have, like you said, you can't go... You could go closer to the Marvel ones, but then you'd have to pay some sort of royalties. But the fact that this is already a Marvel game, like...
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe they should have just ponied up the rights. So they went somewhere leaning towards Marvel film universe, but not quite there.
They need to realize you're not going to make everyone happy.
Yeah.
Because, like, you go towards the comic book ones, then the casual MCU fans are going to be like, what the fuck is this? This isn't the Thor I remember.
Right.
Or, and this is just me, you have these voice actors Nolan North is Tony Stark. Like, his facial features, basically what you do for every other game of, like...
Mocap.
Basically, where, for example, we've got the Punisher and Ghost Recon. It looks like Bruthal in that game.
Yeah.
Where you could do that. It looked like with the exact kind of shirt and pants layout for Bruce that they were trying to go off of the MCU one. Make Troy Baker. Yep. Troy Baker. Am I saying his name right? Am I blanking on his name? Troy Baker. Make him... be Bruce Banner, because like that was the big thing that I did like about it was after the trailer they immediately went into, hey,
it's Troy Baker.
What's going into, like, what are these voice actors behind it and actresses behind it? Because you even was like, cool, they got two people from
Laura
Critical
Bailey
Role.
and Travis Willingham, both from Critical Role, both incredible voice actors, have their own fucking litany of like, these people have been in a ton of games, ton of things. By the way, just get tossed out there, Travis was Mustang.
Was he?
Colonel Mustang.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Just toss it out there.
Just not
toss it out there.
Oh.
Yeah.
I did not
go back
know
and
that.
listen to it and look at his face now. That's gonna
the only one that I was not familiar with was Jeff Shine. The guy who basically was Captain America, which, oh, by the way, he was in Division 3, Football's Finest, a very bad movie from 2011 that I remember watching.
Delightful.
Oh shit, he was an additional voice in Kingdom Hearts 3, and he was also Javier in The Walking Dead. So yeah, I've experienced him before.
Yep.
I just did not know, like, oh, seeing him, that's who he was.
Yep.
But like you get Nolan North, who is basically superhero, like he's done Tony Stark, he's done a lot of Superman for the DC universe. And I look at that and I go, cool, you've got good voice actors. Were the characters spot on with what I wanted? No. I mentioned to you on the stream how it looked like Tony Stark was a little bit too buff and his shoulders didn't fit through doorways for me. The thing I don't agree with, and I'm sorry to bring Mark into this because he's not here to defend his opinion.
Sure.
But he had mentioned to me, well, if you knew, because my whole thing was, what if that's not the final product?
Yep.
Is basically they're still working on it. And he goes, that's fine. Don't show me their face. Don't show me Tony Stark's face. Just show me him in suit. And my thought to that is there's no way they could have done that, because if they didn't show us enough, we were going to be outraged. Because
if you showed Iron Man flying around in suit and you never got to see him with a mask off,
I'm just saying, if by doing that, if it felt like to us, and by us I mean everyone, the fans, if it didn't feel like they were showing us enough, fans were going to get angry. Because
fans were getting angry no matter what. It's an Avengers
of course,
game.
And plus it's outrage culture also that we live in. But like, this was not a spot where they could be like, hey, let's play it safe and be on the side of caution when it comes to this. I love what they did. Hey, show it. And I honestly do like the thing of like, hey, we're listening to you.
Yep.
We're going to go ahead and rework some things. Now, it's going to be different if they rework things and people still complain, because then it's going to be like, all right, there's just no pleasing you, so I'm not going to listen to you anymore. That's what I think it's going to be. Where it's like, after, like, because you're not going to make everyone happy.
But you can make the majority happy. And right now, the majority is unhappy.
Well,
that's the point.
What I'm saying is, after they rework it, if people are still like, well, I'm not happy with that, well, okay, we're not worried about it.
The reason they reworked it is because one person didn't say it. It's because the majority was pissed.
I know
the culture
that. I'm saying
right now
after
like,
they change it, if there's still a group of people that are like, well, I don't like that.
If it's the majority of people, I would keep my ears open. I would drop fucking Twitter teasers of like, hey, we're reworking Tony Stark's face right now. What do you think of this sneak peek? And you take feedback. That's the whole point, is you don't just tell people, this is what you're going to like.
I mean...
And that's what I appreciate, that it's now a give and take system. You have to work dev and community together. You can't just tell people, this is it. Like, you're not going to have that know-how.
No, I'm saying, like, after the... So, yes, if it's the majority... If everyone still hates it, then there's something. But I still feel like there will be a group of people, smaller group than what is now... that doesn't like it, and that small group, I would then say,
go to fucking hell. No one gives a shit.
It. That's what I'm saying.
Like, the point is you make as many people happy as you can. You're never gonna. Your point is you're never gonna make everyone happy. But you kept saying there's a group, and saying group is bad.
Well, it's gonna be a group. It's never gonna be one person.
Say a subsection, a small group of the fan base.
Okay, a subsection, but a subsection is still a group.
Right, but the point is it's the phrasing. It's all about phrasing.
It's a smaller pod.
Yeah, if 50% people are pissed at you, but then 30% come back and like, hey, you did a good job there.
I did not think, with me under the kind of, what's the word I'm looking
semantics.
for?
I'm sorry.
I'm
saying semantics.
Okay. Now I can't even think of words. The thought that I was going with is, this was not a final product to me.
How often do they change game or visuals and gameplay dramatically between E3 and games?
I mean,
I can't think of many examples. I didn't think
it was going to be drastic, but like the little iffy things, like for example, Thor's hair. I didn't think that they would make that and say, well, we're done working on this game. They would be tooling it, especially when this is going to be a game where they're going to be adding to it. They're going to be doing other stuff to it. They're never like games now.
It's a storyline though. It's not a multiplayer. It's a single player playthrough. I don't expect a whole bunch of DLCs. I think it's going to be, here's your main storyline and here's,
But they've added DLC. They've even said they're going to add characters to this game. And how many games in this kind of world that we live in, with all the updates and installs, like there could have been like hey, here we go. We put in this install for when you download it, boom, here's the first add-on for that makes it a little bit better. And they're not going to just say, well, the game's over. We're not going to touch it.
Retexturing characters throughout an entire game is not an easy thing, is all I will say to that.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's super easy. Like, of course, there's work to it. But even look at, like, Spider-Man. Like, Spider-Man, they were constantly kind of working that game to make sure it was always the best game that they could give you. And, like, that's where I kind of feel like a little bit of outrage. Like, I feel like there shouldn't have been... It's okay to say, hey, I don't like how the characters looked. But I felt like the how the outrage is kind of like, from what people are expecting, we're not going to get what everyone expects. I'll tell you right now, we're not going to get the MCU heroes. They're not going to look like that. So if that's what you're expecting, we're not going to get it. So don't expect it, basically.
But what if we do?
I don't think we do.
But what if we do?
No, but I'm telling you, there's 0% chance we will.
But what if we do?
Dave, 0%. Square Enix is not going to pony up the amount of money that they would need to use the likeness of those actors and actresses.
But what if we do?
I'm just going to leave it there. We're not going to. You can say, but
you're no fun.
I don't see.
Would
it
you be
happening.
happier if it was?
Oh, I would be
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm trying to get out of you. Is your ideal version of this game, when you envision a Marvel Avengers game, is the Marvel Avengers that you have seen for the last 15 years grow on screen.
Let's put it this way, too. When Spider-Man came out, nobody kind of... Was the Peter Parker that we saw on screen anywhere near the...
I've seen 4 of them now, so it doesn't matter.
Maybe
I don't
that
have the
played
emotional connection.
Maybe that played into it, but it's
I've
like...
seen... Tony Stark played by one man. I've seen Natasha Romanoff, one woman.
And what I'm saying
growth,
is
their character arcs.
You got to break that connection, because this is not going to be that MCU Avengers.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I think it is. We're used to, for example, Tony Stark seeing Robert Downey Jr. for 10 years.
He is Tony Stark.
Exactly.
He is
Comes
Tony
out
Stark.
at Amazon and basically is Tony Stark.
And that's my problem. I think they were damned from the start because they didn't do that. I think had they gone out, paid the money, and got the likenesses to run with this, and even the voice actors, if they want to pay for the voice, I know that's going to cost you a ton, but that's the game that guarantees, like, look, if you can tell a great story, great. If your game looks like shit, no one cares. So I think if you can marry the gameplay that we're expecting out of Square Enix to deliver in this game, the storytelling that they're known for, on top of what connects us to mainstream culture, that would have been the perfect game.
I mean,
release-wise, that's the ideal product at the end of the day, and I think that's the problem. Well, in my mind,
I don't think that's a problem, because on the other part of it, if now put yourself into the shoes of the dev. If I'm just like, for me as an artist, if I'm just recreating what Robert Downey Jr. looks like,
it's like they drew him with crayons anyway. Like,
no,
but what's the difference?
What
Do you
I'm
want to have
saying
something
is,
that looks fantastic?
What they came out and said,
what
they came out and said, and like, hey, this is our imagination of these. Like, that's the artist style, and like the dev, I'm gonna put everything it is into it, especially when it's like I get to come up with what I think Thor looks like.
Yeah, I mean the artist
what
behind
I think it is.
Yes, but the problem is that they lean so close that they're damned. If they had gone further away from Marvel Universe,
I think they were
film universe.
I think they were damned anyways, because of like you said, the connection we have with these characters, to where they could have done anything and people would have been mad because it's not Tony Stark.
If they went old school, like comic book style,
I still think there'd be a big group that would be upset with that.
Agree to disagree, sir.
Because like with Spider-Man, when I first played it, I was like, oh, that's not what I'm used to seeing Peter look like.
Right.
But it wasn't like I wasn't upset with it, because everything else about the character was true to that character.
Yep.
And I also kind of feel like, oh, they should have got like Chris Evans and Hemsworth to play the characters, but then you're taking work away from these great voice actors that do great work in games like Noah North, like Travis and Troy, that it's like we shouldn't shame them for being in this game. Like, that's what I feel like if someone's going to say, oh, they should have got Robert Downey Jr. to do the voice of Iron Man. It's like, there will be other Iron Men, there are other Iron Men. He's not the only one. Like, and that's what I feel.
But
like people are so connected to these Marvel MCU characters.
We put him on a pedestal.
That basically it's okay if they're not the same. Yeah. If they don't look exactly like the MCU.
You try telling the millions and millions of fans out there that.
I will. Like, be okay with a different... Was I completely happy with how they looked? No, I think they could have been retooled. But I'm not expecting this Tony Stark to look like Robert Downey Jr.
All right, let's move it along. I think we're eating up into your conversation with Johnny probably at this point. Was there anything else? The Final Fantasy VIII remastering was pretty dope. I saw that in the leak and I was like, oh, that's great.
That one's just going to be like a new coat of paint, right? Okay.
Right, they're just polishing up, adding a couple extra pixels.
To me, that's one where I'm like, I can't wait for and I know we're not going to get it anytime soon.
Yep.
But like watching the Final Fantasy VII stuff, I can't wait till they do the next one.
A remake of, say, number 9?
Or number 10 is what I'm thinking. I
like 9 better, but you could do 10.
If they came out and like, if I was them, I would just go through all of them. Like remake 8,
now, Ricky,
remake 9,
isn't that taking away
10.
from the artist's creativity where they can't create their own new narratives and new stories and new characters?
If you're gonna add to like,
I'm sorry,
but no, that's different because like Cloud on the PlayStation was balls of pixels,
right? But they kept
to
it
an
true
actual
to
person.
But they did have a storybook art for him already, and that's the thing. And he's been in now movies, and
the thing I would say with you trying to be an asshole with that is if you wanted to call it MCU Avengers Remastered, cool. Then it'd be like, all right, I know what I'm getting. But like in a remake and a remastered, you go in knowing that, hey, there's this base material that I have to make it look like. Where this Avengers.
No, I was just saying, like, why don't they make a new Final Fantasy game?
What?
Why not just make new Final Fantasy games? Is my point. Because they did that. Hey, they made 15. They made 14. 14 online is still new content.
If they want to drop a brand new Final Fantasy 16 that's better than what I've heard we've gotten, because I haven't played the new Final Fantasies, because I hear everything that I hear when they come out is like, oh, it's not worth it. Okay, then I'm not going to play
15 was fine. I think it's just because Mark had such low energy, you know? Mark's a low energy guy.
Yeah,
I'm Trump
was
now.
just with me. I look into it, and with the Final Fantasies, I've been like, oh, what's everyone else think? All right, I don't know if this is a game for me. That's why I haven't been into them since X2 was the last one I played.
That's a long
which
time.
Was a long time ago.
I mean, I'm just saying, Metacritic 81%, IGN 8.2 out of 10. Not a bad game. 88% Google users liked it for Final Fantasy 15. I think you'd enjoy it. I enjoyed even the movie accompanying it. But you know, that's you, man. That's a you call. Only you know what you like to play. Final thoughts on Square Enix. Also, their streaming service. Get their music now.
Yeah, and you get it on everywhere but Pandora.
Yeah, that kind of sucks for us. I'm a big Pandora guy. I'm indecisive.
Got to move over to not Square Enix. Got to move over to Spotify.
So I think it was a pretty great show from Square Enix. I think they, minus Keanu Reeves, had a great show.
I mean, with them, it was bookmarked. It was big one, big the other, a lot of JRPGs and stuff in the middle.
They definitely did. They had Outriders, which, you know, the drop-in, drop-out multiplayer shooter game.
I'm intrigued with that one.
Looks generic AF right now, but...
I mean, I'm intrigued with the whole
I've seen Borderlands without personality. You know,
everything is like anything looter shooter is just Borderlands.
They set the standard. If you can't live up, you get told you aren't Borderlands.
I'm starting to feel like there's
elitism going on,
basically, where it's like not everything is going to be Borderlands. Like even there was a game we saw where it was like, wow, the voice acting of this game is very much like Borderlands.
Yeah. They intentionally stylized the voice character. Character
Outer
voices.
Worlds. That what it was. Outer Worlds.
Yeah.
Outer World. That one looks cool. That was in the Microsoft one. That's from the guys that made what? I think Jake said the original Fallout. And they broke away from Bethesda. And now they're making their own game.
Yeah.
Looks cool. I'll probably play it.
Really? Yeah, a lot of games you're going to play.
Oh, there's a ton that I'm going to play.
So let's hit the final one, the cap it off of Nintendo. And Jesus, they come and swinging that fucking hammer.
I forgot there was a Nintendo to talk about.
There is a Nintendo. Super Smash Bros. Just continuing to put out fucking characters left and right.
Banjo-Kazooie, baby.
Banjo-Kazooie, baby. Well said.
I like
well
how
said.
Phil Spencer was like, it was easy to make this decision.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there going, oh, really? It was easy to make this decision, huh? Because you knew Nintendo was going to pay up for Banjo.
Absolutely. Dragon Quest IX Definitive Edition, which is cool. Luigi's Mansion 3, fan favorite game. Zelda, though. Legend of
Link's
Zelda.
Awakening and Breath of the Wild 2.
Are you kidding me right now?
I was not expecting to get a...
Breath of the Wild 2.
Breath
That's
of
the one
the
that
Wild
surprised me.
2.
Link's Awakening.
Well, we knew
Sure.
about that because we
Yeah.
were talking about that one on the podcast before. But, like, man, when I saw the Breath of the Wild 2, I was like, holy shit.
Yep.
What is about to go down?
Yeah, Nintendo goes their own way, man. And I love them for it. Like, no one expected a Breath of the Wild 2. Whoop, right now.
Dropped your water.
Dropped a water bottle. But we got it. We got the trailer. I was just basically like, hey, it's coming. Guess what, guys?
I mean, technically they have, 2 on this Nintendo Direct? The Hero and Banjo-Kazooie were 2 of the Super Smash Brothers characters announced. But yeah, I mean, we got more Pokemon Sword and Shield to look at. That was interesting to me.
That's got a controversy of its own right now over the Pokedex.
Is it?
Oh, yeah. People are pissed that you aren't getting full Pokedex. They want a complete, conclusive one. And that's just it's a lot to ask for. But we'll see about that. There's a lot of games, man.
I mean,
There's
Nintendo, they just were like, hey, we're going to drop...
Spyro Reignited Trilogy going on the Switch, which... awesome. Hollow Knight Silksong, Switch, awesome. Trying to see some other ones that are going to be on there. Doom Eternal's going to be on the Switch. Wolfenstein Youngblood on the Switch. Dead by Daylight on the Switch. I'm going to stop saying on the Switch. It's literally their console. It's just... Yeah.
Nintendo, to me, the big ones were the Breath of the Wild 2.
Yep.
Luigi's Mansion, the third one. I was like, I'm going to probably maybe dive into this because I remember playing the original and really liking the original.
Yep.
And then the big one was just Banjo-Kazooie. Like, having him in Super Smash is going to be a whole lot of fun. And then, of course, I feel like I'm missing one, but I'm not, because Pokemon Sword and Shield.
Yep.
You mentioned all the games on Switch that were coming.
All the multi-platform ones.
And then, the Witcher coming to
Witcher 3 Wild Hunt
Nintendo.
Complete Edition. Yeah, no. Panzer Dragoon, which, if you want to take me back, there's a game. There is a good game. I'll be honest. I feel like the Switch has so much, and I am finding myself running out of reasons to not buy one. Like, it's finally hitting that like overload.
Mark
of,
has one. I have one.
Yep. Oh, No More Heroes 3. Again, looks fucking fun. Yeah, there's just the more you look through their catalog, it's hard to deny them. They have a complete platform.
Animal Crossing too. Brand new Animal Crossing game.
Yep. So
New Horizons is, I guess Mark was saying you're on an island for it. So, I mean, Animal Crossing fans have something to be excited about. Like, to me, it was now understood why they had the Pokemon Sword and Shield Direct. Because could you imagine if they would have had all of that information in this Direct? It would have been way too much.
Yeah, no. There's no way that would have lasted. Nintendo killed it. They knocked it out of the park. I think three different ones. Microsoft, Nintendo, and Square Enix all had great conferences. I think Ubisoft was okay.
I feel like
I think
Bethesda was the weakest.
Was weak. EA or Bethesda. I mean, EA got to cap things and open the door with Jedi Fallen Order. I think that was their only saving grace. Because had they not, had someone gone before them and played the Jedi Fallen Order stuff,
yeah, I feel like they had that
Thunder.
planned.
Yeah,
I feel like they had that definitely
I know.
planned.
I'm just saying, had that order been switched,
it would have
and
taken
somebody else
away.
got to do just a trailer first, that specialness would have been taken away.
Yeah.
So I feel like EA really riding high on the Jedi front, and that's
It was nice to have that as for us, a Saturday morning kind of a chill.
Yeah.
Before gearing up for the Microsoft that was coming out. And I'm assuming they had that plan, like, hey, we're going to release it here. You guys can then show it later on or the next day was Microsoft. We were in here so much, it was just, we forgot.
It blends together,
forgetting,
man.
one of those was for the fast break. So, I mean, I feel like E3, it was a different E3 than we're used to in the past. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing yet. Obviously, Sony not being there kind of took a little bit away from it.
Oh, it did, no doubt.
And I wonder if this is going to be the new kind of E3 that we expect from now on, where not everyone's going to be there. It's only going to be a hodgepodge of different people at E3.
Yeah, no, all in all, though, still enjoyed the hell out of it. Mm-hmm. Thought it was good. Can't wait to see PlayStation 5. For fuck's sake, show us something.
Mm-hmm. They will when they're ready.
Xbox got that market capture open, I'm just saying. No. It was a fun E3. It was fun live streaming. Definitely going to do it again next year. We'll get the kinks worked out. We'll get that live video going with us watching same screen. That'll be dope. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. It's been a uber long episode of Tool of the Game. Hope you guys enjoy all of this gaming content we've been bringing to you. We'll catch you next time.